Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and this is Sister Wives, Season 20, Episode 9, Standoff at Coyote Pass. The end of an era.
Standoff. It's not much of a standoff here, really. It's all kind of built up in everybody's heads as something completely different than what it actually is.
Built up in everybody's heads is the exact right way to describe this. There were a lot of things happening that weren't actually happening.
And then a lot of things that weren't happening that should have been happening.
Well, I feel like that is the summation of this show.
That's what it usually ends up being. The problem that we've seen is that there's not as much interaction. And now you literally have a scene where they're not interacting with each other. And that's the problem.
Well, some of what we saw in this episode. She-Rah comes to the rescue to make things fair. The Coyote Pass standoff ends in a stalemate. Janelle celebrates by eating bugs. Meri enters her sugar mama era. And Kody finally realizes he desperately needs therapy.
Too little too late, I think, on that one. Perhaps, maybe.
It's going to take years for him to unravel what's going on upstairs.
I think he needed to have an earlier midlife crisis for him, even though he does think that he's going to live to be about 150, 160, 70, 80.
He might.
He's
trying. The way he's pickling himself with all these supplements.
He is biohacking this. He's figuring out all the ways to prolong this and extend his midlife crisis into his 60s.
Well, if you guys want to hear more about some of that and the supplements that Kody's been on, his special diet, we talked about the Special Forces reunion that was part of the Vile Files. So there wasn't an actual Special Forces reunion episode that aired on Fox. Instead, they got together on Nick Vile's podcast. And we did a little recap of it over on Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod. There's a recording of it. It's posted for free and paid members, so you do not have to pay to be able to access it.
You just have to be a member, which means you can sign up as a free member as needed to if you want to get access to that. So go check that out. Don't miss it.
Then, of course, the internet broke last week when Kody did something to his hair.
Did something is the correct description because he cut it mostly. Did he pin it back in some ways? And he's like a pit bull with the ears that are pinned back now.
I mean, the tendrils are gone.
The tendrils are less prominent than they've been before, but the skin headband still remains.
Still present. He just needs to shave his head. Do you ever see on Reddit, there's that sub of guys who shave their heads and you get the before and after?
And it's like, why did you wait this long type of a thing?
Yes.
Yeah, usually. Because
it's an improvement like 99% of the time.
Very much. Yeah. It's like hard to make it worse than what it already is. So it's like, just let it go. Unless Kody just totally has like an egghead shape, cone head sort of.
No, I'm telling you, there's a malignant thing going on in the back there. There's a whole nother personality on the back of his head.
We're talking about the film Malignant, not anything medical.
Which Corey forced me to watch.
Well, I usually have pretty good movie recommendations. And then this one I had heard was good. And then we were watching it and I was like, this is actually kind of stupid. This is kind of terrible.
Well, you guessed it 2 minutes in.
That's kind of what I do, though.
I know.
Yeah.
I was left guessing, though.
Like part of it.
I was unsure.
The reasoning behind it, we didn't really get into necessarily. But no spoilers because there is quite a twist if you want to check it out.
Worth it just for the reference for this specific instance.
I guess so, yeah. That's why Kody is not shaving his head, to prevent a Professor Quirrell Voldemort type situation on the back of his head.
The last update that we have is we're now on Instagram. In the year 2025, almost 2026, we finally made it there.
Meri Cosby told us to make an Instagram, so we did.
Meri Cosby.
Mary Payne. Mary Payne told us from Pig Shade. Mary Payne told us to make an Instagram.
It's like, I'm sorry. Do you have a direct line to Meri Cosby?
No, I am not DMing Meri Cosby. I'm not Jared Osmond. Don't put that evil on me.
By the way, guys, we're still doing recaps of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It's just an after party that's live on Tuesday nights over on Patreon. Same deal as I mentioned earlier with Kody's, not Kody's haircut. Kody's reunion episode.
Right, yes.
For Special Forces.
Members only jackets required for the Patreon.
Can we just start saying that? Members only?
Members only.
And you guys just know that means free or paid?
I think that's what that means.
Okay, we'll agree on that moving forward.
Cool, good.
Oh, but the Instagram handle, if you're looking to follow us,
right.
is at Surviving Reality Pod.
There you go.
We kick off this episode right where they left us. We're still on Coyote Pass. Everybody's safely nestled inside their vehicles, hiding from one another.
And this is where the disconnect begins, because it's still the same issue that we had the last episode, was where Kody and Robyn have rolled up to this meeting late. They're the last ones to arrive, and now they've set the tone of they're not getting out of their vehicles. Janelle and Meri have been here. They already got out of their vehicles and got back into them. That's how long they've been waiting.
I would have left.
Just send a group text and you let me know, where that's going to be.
Find a mobile notary. I'll sign the paperwork. I had to go.
They didn't even need to notarize it. Like, is Justin a notary?
I don't know what they're doing. They had to sign some papers. It didn't seem like it required them to have a walk down memory lane on Coyote Pass to do it.
I get the feeling that when Justin rolled up with his dirt bike in the back of his truck, I think they were doing one last final lap, a victory lap on Coyote Pass.
That's why Kody had the gloves on.
One more time over the handlebars for Robyn.
Does he think that maybe she had a concussion?
She doesn't remember.
Could that be why she was not very talkative? Why she couldn't look anybody in the eye?
She was having trouble focusing on things.
No, but does he think that the gloves are actual gloves that are going to help with, temperature control versus these are gloves for all-purpose activities?
Multi-purpose utility gloves, I believe is what you're describing here, Carly. These are now the moving gloves that he has used multiple times for several moves, because that's, the majority of what they're doing on a regular basis is moving. But now he's using them as driving gloves, I suppose. And then umbrella gloves, because they're going to have to bust out that umbrella. They also have to really roll their pants down. Everybody's like fighting with their pants getting out of the car. Now we know why it took everybody so long to get out of the car.
Okay, the only person that's allowed for is Robyn, because she has very long legs.
The long legs weren't even a factor. Well, we didn't even get to see Robyn hiking up her pants or hiking them down. I guess I don't want to think about hiking them down too much, though. But it was everybody being Kody, Meri, and Janelle really struggling with the pants, trying to roll out of the car.
Maybe they've been banned from filming in multiple restaurants in Flagstaff.
Yeah, I think Salsa Brava's like, you spent the whole season here last season. Get out.
We did not see an uptick.
Go
in
away.
Customers.
Yeah, this is a drain now. We're losing money on lemons alone.
It just feels like they could have done this anywhere. They didn't have to be here. It's not even, there's not a table. You want me to sign something?
On the hood of a car? I'm telling you, it's Robyn's back. You can sign it across her goiter on the...
There's plenty of room.
We got lots
Spread
of
all
real
the paperwork
estate.
out.
But when Justin, he's introducing himself to Meri and Janelle, because they've never met in person. So this is their first interaction with him, even though Kody's like BFFs with this guy, and Robyn's had him over to the house multiple times here. That sounded like an implication, didn't it? I didn't
Brother
mean for
husbands.
I didn't mean for it to sound like that, but
Justin's
they're very
just
close.
happy. He's made a lot of money off of these people.
On both ends, buying and selling, because they're just constantly acquiring and then unloading bits of real estate. That's what's going on here. But he did throw me off when he was introducing himself as Justin Bemis, and I was like, penis? Beavis?
No, I heard Beavis.
Beavis.
Beavis and Butthead. Kody's Butthead.
Well, yeah, Kody would be Butthead. But the intro, again, he's got to get back to the X Games. He's trying to hit the podium in the dirt biking. It's motocross season, I suppose.
I think that Kody and Robyn told him that Meri and Janelle were going to be not very nice, that they're going to be hostile.
Oh,
Hostile.
yeah. Like, hostile with style.
It was not going to be an enjoyable working environment.
Yeah, like he was bracing for that. But then I think he realized pretty quickly where it was like, oh, Kody's been the pain to work with. Janelle and Meri seem totally chill.
They don't have much to say.
Yeah, they're not saying anything. It's just Kody kind of regurgitating a lot of a sepia tone flashback montage for Justin verbally here. Because we do see, because they do flashback to the pond incident, the skinny dipping,
the biohazard,
inciting incident of the prairie dog plague in this family.
Yeah, someone needed to tell Kody it's really not necessary for us to recount every single memory we've had here.
No, like that's not part of the process here. That's not part of the deal. We don't need to do that.
I really just want the money. That's the only reason I showed up today.
Just the signature, and then that's it. I'm out of here.
Which we need to talk about the revelation this episode that Kody and Robyn are now saying Janelle was behind trying to sell the property out from under Meri.
So is this just like an interesting twist? Because last week Kody was talking about how he was trying to convince Janelle to sell it out from under Meri and Robyn. Well, he said the other two because he didn't want to try and implicate himself on pulling a fast one on Robyn. But that's what he was talking about.
I kind of think Janelle did it.
You seem to really be into that.
I think she's guilty. I just am thinking about when they went to buy Coyote Pass and she went and tried to do a backdoor deal with the realtor behind everyone else's back and was like, we want this. Let me know. I'll cut you a check.
She was going to put money down on it out of the family fund without anybody else's approval for that because she was worried about losing the opportunity of buying this.
And I think she was worried about losing the buyer.
I think she's more hard up for this money. Tata Farms needs the funds, needs an infusion of cash at this point.
I feel so bad for Meri. She's going to watch this and be like, damn, I really can't trust anybody because they had a little conversation at the end after Kody and Robyn left too. And it seemed like they were getting along just fine. And she's going to find out that perhaps Janelle tried to cut her out of the whole deal.
Well, and was that like, I wasn't sure if it was like let's sell it real quick because all of our names are on the title. They were waiting for Meri to sign something, I think, with the titling. But then when it comes down to the paperwork, Robyn was last to sign.
Yeah, so that's the tea, is that everybody else signed. It was the title.
Yeah.
That stuff, getting the titles fixed
everybody
on all
for
the
25,
lots.
Yeah, for the 25% split.
That everyone else signed it in January. And Robyn was the last one to do it, and she didn't do it until March. And they sold the property the next month in April. So
if you're talking holdouts here, it sounds like Robyn was slower to sign than Meri was.
Or if Meri was taking a long time to sign the final paperwork to get the deal for the sale to go through, okay, Robyn dragged ass for 3 months on the titling paperwork. And then by the time you got it to Meri, her lawyer has to look over stuff. I just think it's unfair to try to blame her for that. Justice for Meri, man.
Yeah, everything's a rush. I think Janelle was trying to scoop this deal. I wasn't sure if she was just saying, oh, we'll just sell it and then we'll figure out the money distribution. We'll split it up evenly after. But that's like a tax nightmare to try and figure all that out.
Well, also, would you want someone to go to Kody and Robyn and say they were comfortable with that being done on your behalf?
No.
Because we already know Meri didn't want the money to go into Kody's hands first.
No. Yeah, so I don't know if there was a couple different phases to figuring that out, but it sounded like the titling was its own issue, the sale was its own issue, the financing was its own issue of how to distribute those funds. So there's a lot of complications here, which is why everybody is just relieved that now this is over. It's done. I mean, Kody's kind of embarrassed at this point of how terrible it was to get to this point. They probably could have done a lot of things better, but hey, at least it's over and done with now. Done deal.
I do totally believe that Kody and Robyn are liars. And him trying to tee this up like, oh, well, Janelle's always been my financial advisor.
That was a weird way to put that.
So, she suggested that perhaps I do this to Meri. I do think they're trying to deflect from what they lacked on their end because that's a pattern in their life that they always do.
Is that a new title for Janelle, though? Because if Kody's the king and Robyn's the queen in their castle, the She-Rah Chateau. Is Janelle the royal vizier?
I'm not familiar with that title unless it's in English history.
It's from Aladdin.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm familiar with the master of the purse.
Okay. Of coin, yes. Well, this deal, it was a lot of chit-chat, and then just, it's over.
They Irish goodbye.
Did they even sign anything? Because Janelle just kind of eyeballed. She wanted to double check the distribution date of those funds just to make sure no funny business up in here. We didn't switch any numbers around here.
I did like that Meri let Janelle do all the talking and just sat back.
Meri's just the muscle. She's there to intimidate. She's just silently nodding behind Janelle of like
trying to make eye contact with everybody.
Yeah, double check that. So she did, and then that was it. Just peace out, dip, no goodbye, no anything, because Justin's ready to run off to his next event. And then Kody and Robyn just bailed too. And so then Janelle and Meri are standing here like, well,
stuck with each other again.
What just happened? Yeah, it feels like when we were waiting for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour before they showed up. We're in the same spot.
It was bizarre to just walk away and not say anything.
Robyn tries to explain this away by saying that I don't really endorse fakeness. That seems like that's been her whole career, though.
Okay, there's a difference between being fake and being cordial with people. You can say hello, you can say goodbye, you can have a conversation for the purpose of getting through a business transaction and not have it be you're blowing smoke up somebody's ass. You know what was fake? Giving Meri that junk journal as a final goodbye.
But did it feel real to Robyn at the time? She wanted it to be real, so she continued to pretend like it was real?
She scripted it. She knows.
I think she was done. Yeah, because Robyn and Meri didn't even make eye contact during this entire exchange. No words were exchanged. They barely looked at each other.
These are four emotionally immature people. On the scale, some maybe less so than others.
Or there's been improvements, more of a scale to kind of go off of now.
I do agree with them, though, that Robyn just has a victim mentality. She thinks that everybody's out to get her. Did she think that Janelle was going to confront her? Janelle's the least confrontational person that we've seen on this show.
I mean, aside from Christine, yeah, like, because I mean, Christine will say some stuff.
Christine did tell Meri that she'll
pop off.
Darkens the room with her spirit when she enters.
The heaviness, yeah. Heaviness enters. But I think this is what Kody was crediting Robyn with, was how she's so perceptive. And it's like, is it perception or is it paranoia? Because she's
highly paranoid.
It seems more like paranoia to me, because she already assigns all of this intent that may or may not actually be there. So she's coming up with her own headcanon of what's happening here and why they're acting this way and why they're not looking at me, even though she's not looking at them too. And so then it's like she can't even imagine the reverse experience of that. Of if Robyn's not making eye contact with them, what do they think of Robyn in this moment?
Oh, she's completely innocent.
She has no concept of that, no understanding for that. But it's a done deal. It's over. Let's put that behind us now. Let's move on to bigger and better storylines. But we are probably going to hear Kody and Robyn complain about how Meri and Janelle did rob them of the joy of Coyote Pass.
Right. They should have been able to pop open the champagne, toast together to it.
I was expecting to hang out with Justin all afternoon and celebrate, and then he just ran off.
He's got to go back to work.
He didn't want to be around me.
He's got to train for the X Games.
It was all the negative emotions from Meri and Janelle sent him back to doing heel clicks over Coyote Pass.
You want to pick up with Janelle? What happens with her the rest of the episode?
Okay, yeah.
Everybody's kind of debriefing after this, right?
Yeah, we get like each individual storyline here.
So Janelle's back at Maddie's house, and we've got to talk about the origin of the lemon water because we're finally getting this story from Janelle.
it's the explanation for the viewing audience who may or may not be in the know about all of Kody's lemon citrus proclivities at public places.
Which I think we've heard he's had to cut back on because all of the acid has eroded his teeth.
The teeth, yeah. Well, Janelle's making this joke because Evie's playing a game where she's running a restaurant in her mind.
Salsa
here.
Brava.
It's probably Salsa Brava. That's the most recognized thing that we can go with here. And so she's running a restaurant. She's taking orders from everyone. What would you like, Janelle? And she immediately asks for a glass of water and a lemon and a knife. So that way I can cut it up. Hot water. Hot lemon water. That's what I'm going for here.
Everybody in the room starts laughing. Peyton was there.
Peyton
Still,
recognized this
he's
order.
Just always hanging around Maddie's house now.
Yeah, he's got nothing else to do. Nothing else going on right now.
Yeah, so they all know that she's making fun of Kody. This all started because Kody realized that if he drank either room temperature or warm water with lemon in it, it helped with his digestion.
Do you think he heard about it from Beyonce?
I don't think so.
It's the lemon water, not the digestion stuff. He was doing it for weight loss, but then he's explaining it
For weight loss.
Yeah,
I thought
what
he's
was it?
clearing out the colon.
Yeah, like the cleanse, whatever that lemon juice, cayenne pepper, what was that shit that
And
Beyonce
maple
was doing?
syrup. I
And
had a roommate who
maples.
did that in college.
Yeah.
It
so
smelled very disgusting. It's in the fridge.
Is this something that Kody learned about from Beyonce? Perhaps. Maybe.
Let's make that the lore.
Sure. That makes sense. It fits the narrative.
Okay, I'm going to defend him on something.
Oh, on hot lemon water?
No, the lemon. The entirety of the lemon versus asking for cut up pieces of lemon.
Most bars have lemon that's already
Yes,
cut.
they do. And it's full of bacteria.
Yeah. But then if you're asking
I want a fresh lemon.
for a whole lemon and a knife, like that seems like too much of an ask. Now you're like making something at a restaurant. So there's
You just want to come in the back?
Excuse me?
He hasn't heard that in a while.
No. No, that's not what. There's just restaurant etiquette of like, if you're going to order things so particularly at a restaurant, don't do that.
Bring your own lemon.
Well, that's not allowed
BYOL.
either. No, that's not allowed either. That's against health code.
Really?
Yeah, you're not supposed to be bringing in outside food to a restaurant.
You can just bring in drinks, though, if it's BYOB.
If it's
Different
BYOB, that's okay.
situation?
Yeah, totally different situation. Because if you're bringing food in, then you run into
Contamination.
cross-contamination stuff. And depending on what the food is, if it's raw, if it's not prepared, if it's whatever. So it's just, yeah, that's a lot of stuff you got to be aware of there. Health code violations popping off with Kody asking for lemons and knives. Asking for a knife in a public place is also kind of risque.
Okay.
Maybe not recommended.
I mean, to be fair, it's a restaurant. They only give you a butter knife.
Are they using, a steak knife to cut the lemon? Are you using a small knife to cut a small thing?
Martha Stewart will not approve of that.
Well, a small knife for a small thing, that's okay.
It's the small knife for a big thing.
Small knife for a big thing?
For a lemon?
What are you doing?
Where do you think that she lands on that? We know with the orange, she's not okay with the small knife.
I know. Well, if you're slicing stuff, like you should be using like a chef knife, right? Like that size, about that size.
All I know is apparently he tips very well, so nobody asks too many questions.
That makes up for it.
Which
I
we have
suppose.
heard before.
We have heard that, yes. We also heard that he spends like a lot of time at Salsa Brava. So the wait staff, I think that's why he needs to tip so much, is because he's occupying a table for extended periods of time.
I think he's also paranoid. He doesn't want the word to get out that he's a bad tipper. And also, what if they spit my food? I think he thinks about that a lot. Just because of who he is as a person.
About people spitting in his food?
Yeah, that he's going to show up someplace. People don't like him. They've heard about him online or they've seen the show.
Yeah.
So if you're a good tipper and word gets around, in town that when you come in, you spend money nice, maybe he thinks that that'll make up
You
for
made it nice?
I made it nice.
Kody and Robyn, for being as unliked as they are, public figures on television, they're very comfortable with ordering food in public.
Oh, yeah. We should talk about my theory I came up with the other day related to the move from Vegas to Flagstaff. I'm now convinced that a big part of the move is not just Dayton going to college, but also Robyn needing to move to a more rural area where there were not people who were going to approach her because they saw her on TV.
I feel like that's a big part of it. Yeah, she was probably being confronted more in Vegas, or more likely to be spotted and recognized when you're out to eat or something.
She just wants to go to the mall in peace.
That's why she's on QVC all the time, guys. She's ordering everything based on TV. She doesn't want to go out, get spotted. She just wants to call and then have the stuff show up at her door.
Yeah, I just want to get my Annie Ann's pretzel and not have anybody confront me about being a homewrecker.
That's tough to do now. That's really, really hard to maintain at this point. But Janelle is catching Maddie up on all of the drama that took place at Coyote Pass, which was basically just nobody said anything. And then Maddie's like, nothing? Like, not even hello? Hey, hi, how you doing? No. Yeah, like
no pleasantries.
No words were uttered amongst us to each other. It was just Kody and Justin broing out about some stuff. And then I double checked the payment dates because you know me. And then that was about it. That was the end of it. They just fucked off.
I was disappointed that we didn't get an unfiltered reaction from Maddie.
I thought Maddie was going to pop off on Birdie at this point.
Yeah, she was shocked that Robyn had nothing to say to Meri. But then that was kind of the extent of, maybe she's just tired. She's got the baby. She's heard this all before.
They caught her on a low energy day. She wasn't really feeling it here because she's just like, well, also there's nothing to react to. Nothing was said.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. So how do you react to that? Okay, I don't really have anything else to contribute to that. That's crazy, bro. I don't know. What?
So now Janelle heads to Nolans, or as she calls it, New Orleans.
New Orleans to celebrate. She's doing a girls' trip because she didn't get to celebrate properly for Coyote Pass. Is this actually for Coyote Pass?
No, I'm confused because I thought this is the trip that she took to New Orleans in the fall of 24.
Yeah, like in November.
Which the property didn't sell until April of 25.
Right. So that doesn't line up from a time-wise perspective, unless she went another time.
She loved it so much, she went twice.
Right, yeah.
Or thrice.
Perhaps.
Because they stopped. Remember when they moved her to North Carolina? Didn't they stop in New Orleans and have a drink at the bar?
I think they stopped in, like, Kentucky? No,
I don't know, guys.
Not Kentucky. It was something else. Maybe it was Louisiana, though. I don't know if it was New Orleans. New Orleans is, like, way further south.
Okay, so maybe they, who knows?
It's coastal.
I guess that would be kind of out of the way, huh?
She's going coastal grandma on us here and in New Orleans. But she's going Mardi Gras this time around.
I would not have expected her to pick this as a place to go. Doesn't it seem really far out of Janelle's comfort zone?
You know, well, it's like kind of like Vegas in a weird way too, where
there's a lot of alcohol.
There's the only things I did in New Orleans when I went was work and drink. That was about it. There's like casinos and stuff there though too.
I'm not saying it's not a valuable place to go visit.
No.
I just wouldn't have guessed that that's where Janelle was going to go.
Yeah.
I would expect like coastal Maine, Montana.
Yeah. Vermont. If she's in North Carolina, there's like other spots that would come to mind.
Savannah.
Savannah, Georgia.
But here we are.
So she's on Canal Street. She's here to cut loose a little bit, is what it's shaping up to be, basically.
Is Janelle a lot more fun than we've thought she was all these years?
I don't think Janelle knows who she is.
Okay, yeah.
And this is like not a rediscovery. This is discovery of...
She's not known at all.
She hasn't known. So she's kind of talking about... She's pinning it on like, oh, my conservative upbringing, and I'm just trying to get out there and experience the world now.
I think this is true of a lot of people who get married in their early 20s, though.
Right, in general. We kind of saw Meri go through this a little bit, too. And Christine.
And I think it's reflected a lot in whenever she gets asked questions about dating, Janelle does not know how to answer. She doesn't know any preferences that she has for anything.
Yeah, and she kind of chalked that up to, in polygamy, it's not that she, like, lived a suppressed, restricted lifestyle or anything, but you did have to kind of learn to bottle things up and, you know, tamper down a few different parts of your personality that maybe aren't as accepted by the rest of the group. That sounds pretty, restrictive as far as what that looks like.
You had to repress who you were, and now you're confused about who that is.
Yeah. So she's trying new things. we thought it was going to be like, oh, some drinks. And I mean, like, yeah, they are drinking like hurricanes and stuff like that. So there is some of that. But then they're busting out bug snacks, and gator meat on a stick that looks like a dong.
Or a corn dog.
Well, I mean, that sucker wasn't wrapped. That baby was uncut.
Would baby Saul reject it, or
his body wouldn't know how to process gator meat?
I mean, neither would mine.
I would eat gator on a stick.
I think I need mustard.
Yeah, you need like something else on top, because when it's just meat on a stick. It's not fried. It looks like it's like grilled, and it's just out there. It's on there.
I didn't need Janelle giving us the commentary that the aftertaste is different. I think I would have just spit it out at the table right there.
Spitters are quitters, though. Janelle's not here for second place.
I can't believe she ate the bug.
Okay, so they started with, it was dark chocolate crickets. So like the dark chocolate
I didn't know they were covered in chocolate.
The crickets were.
Yeah.
So that's what they started with. And then there's like seeds on them and stuff too. But Janelle figured out the trick. She's like, oh, they put all the seeds on it. So you think it's the seeds that are crunching, but it's actually the cricket.
Again, I don't need you to say that while I'm eating it.
No, like.
I know. I don't want to eat with Janelle. That's what I'm learning.
See, I would do this like the Bunch of Crunch, where I would suck all the chocolate off.
Disgusting.
And then.
That's what you do?
Sometimes.
And then you're just left with, aren't they just
the rice? Yeah, crispy rice.
That's psychotic.
That's not psychotic. That's how I make them last longer.
You're just savoring them.
Right, yeah. I'm trying to make it.
Like you would the crickets.
Because otherwise, I would just dump the whole box into my mouth and then be like, it's all gone. And it's like, no. I need to make this last longer. I need to extend the experience, because otherwise, I'm going to get upset.
There are lots of other good foods that they could have been eating. Where are the beignets?
The beignets. There's so many things to choose from. As far as, some jambalaya, some seafood, some shrimp, something. You could have had Chad here to do a crawfish boil for you and dump it right out on the newspaper. From Married at First Sight. Oh, God.
A season that's finally ended. And everybody was who we thought they were.
Exactly who we thought they were. The second set of bugs, though, that Janelle shifts to, serious bugs. Those are like...
They looked alive still.
I know. That's what, when they were picking up the package, they're like, are they moving? No. Are these seasoned at all? Because then they're talking about how, it tastes like crunchy air. Why do I want to eat that? Is there seasoning on it? Is there saltiness at all? Is it like a potato chip where you can kind of like taste? There's like other seasoning.
Can I get the honey roasted version of this?
Yeah, like is there something that has like flavor on it? I don't want to just bite a bug.
I don't really need to know the natural flavor of that.
Yeah, like that's not something.
Make it taste like something else.
Based on the quality of the insect, that I just want to just pop a few of those in my mouth.
I guess food science has not had its way with the bug population yet.
Even though it is, I mean, if you're talking about sustainable protein sources, bugs are it. I'm just throwing that out there.
It's true.
It's a fact.
At some point during this, Janelle started talking about how like Kody just gave up on the family at some point. He told them that they were aging him and that he just couldn't do it anymore. Yeah,
so this is when she's enjoying a bit of the bubbly with the ladies back at the hotel room.
Opening up a lot.
A little bit. The secrets. Yeah, we're cracking into the vault here with Janelle. We get some Lamarca flowing through her veins.
Okay, so we need drinks at the tell-all.
I mean, it would help, I think. But yeah, she's talking about how as soon as Kody hit 50, he basically just gave up on the family. He just kind of tapped out and was like, that's it. And to be fair, she goes into the reasoning here of, I don't see Tony doing that, or Caleb or Mitch. I don't see any of them throwing their hands up and saying, well, that's it for me. I don't know how to figure this family stuff out. To be fair, they're not 50.
And they're not polygamists.
And they're not Kody Brown. So I think it was a very different experience for Kody. But then she's also tying it back to, well, pretty much our whole life was just chaos, too. It was just constant move and huge life shifts and big changes, adapt.
Yeah, that sucks. I know Kody mentioned in that reunion that we recapped that he's since been diagnosed with ADHD. I mean, we all saw the signs of it watching this show.
We diagnosed it a few years ago, but yeah, okay.
To think how different this family could have been if he had had some control around that earlier in his life, because I do think a lot of that stuff was prompted by the fact that he has uncontrolled ADHD.
Some intervention would have been good.
Yeah.
At that point.
Maybe we don't need to move on a whim. And maybe you guys didn't all need to agree to do it every single time you brought it up. But it was just the male menopause, to be fair. That's Kody's defense of this.
That T dropped. His gator meat was off the stick.
Which, it's been suggested that Kody must be on testosterone. This is even before Special Forces, right? Where we've been seeing him get like irrationally angry and stuff for seasons. It just seems like there's been a switch that was flipped in him. And then on Special Forces, everyone's been talking about how he was performing better than people much younger than him who are professional athletes.
It was jarring.
It's been juicing.
Roid rage and testosterone, yeah, as in combination with his training, his supplements. Who knows what's flying around in all those caffeine packets that he has that are all half expired.
I love, though, how he'll bring up anything to try to deflect from his own behavior, because now he's just trying to make it biological. Like, he's jealous that women have an excuse for, like, what he probably sees as an excuse for their behavior in their 50s. So he wants one too. Yeah,
he was trying to explain that away as the reason for the divorces, because we were all going through menopause together.
They just all synced up after all those years.
Which is amazing because he never spent time with those ones. So that's a modern medical marvel as far as what took place there. But yeah, they're trying to drill down, what are Janelle's dating preferences then?
She has no idea.
I don't know. She was like not interested in dating at all up until more recently, where she's now kind of like, maybe.
Janelle needs to look at this differently, because I feel like she's still framing it in her mind in the way that she was raised to think about relationships, which is you date someone to marry them. Maybe you can just find a companion, somebody who you enjoy spending time with, who has similar interests as you, and you don't have to marry them.
A gentleman caller who you enjoy the companionship. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. You could do that.
Maybe she'll be like my grandpa. My grandpa had many girlfriends.
Many.
Sometimes at the same time.
Well,
you know,
he was a polygamist. Kind of.
No. Don't start that rumor. Not a polygamist, just a player.
Right. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, I think she has no idea what she's attracted to.
It sounds like the opposite of Kody. Whatever Kody is now, not that. Do it different. Try it again. I liked her descriptor of someone who's stocky enough to handle life. Stocky enough. When she said stocky enough to handle, and I was like,
be pulling on that ponytail.
To stocky enough to fight back. Yeah, something to hang on to here. Stocky enough to handle life. I thought that was a weird descriptor for somebody to date.
Yeah, her dating profile is going to be very hard to understand.
We're going to need to proofread that. Yeah.
How do we go from Janelle having zero interest in having a spiritual divorce to now she's totally on board to do it?
Because she didn't really have any other storyline. The Tata Farms thing kind of stalled out here a little bit. So she's like,
there's no seeds in the ground yet. We got to go with something else. I'm kind of thinking she waited until the property stuff was all shored up, and now she's ready to go visit the church.
That's a good call. Yeah. Where Meri did it before, and then she saw it.
She was like, I'm getting my bag first.
That made it complicated. She really needs this money, so she needs to make sure that everything's good. She went with the Brianna chicken fry route here of you got to keep him appeased, keep him happy, and then we'll all be happy, and we just keep moving on, okay?
I know it's like watching the exact same thing that we've already seen play out happen again, and some people are going to feel like that's boring. I am excited because I can't wait to see what the church has to say this time.
I hope they film more of it or like have a process of that. Because for the Meri one, they just kind of threw that in there.
Yeah, it was just done. And then we found out about it.
In passing, she mentioned it. She brought it up. And then that was what we joked at the time was Janelle wasn't really interested in it. And we were like, Meri already did all the legwork for you. So just ask her for those phone numbers and get this process rolling.
I just hope that they don't give the exact same reason. So it was abandonment for Meri. I say we go with something new, something else that will upset him. And then we have Christine come in, and then she'll swoop in for the third, and we'll get a whole nother explanation.
I don't think Christine cares to do it. Not even out of spite.
I know she doesn't. I care.
Yeah.
Because I want to see Kody get a third call from the church.
Hey, just a heads up.
Hey,
they're all
again.
gone. They're all gone.
All right. Meri is back at what used to be Lizzie's Heritage Inn, but we find out that it's no more.
We thought it was just closed for remodeling. That was what it sounded like. That's what
she said.
That was what it was presented as. Now we're changing over. It is becoming an event space, which we suspected.
Yeah, she's got to get out of the B&B game. Too much work.
I think she paid off the mortgage, and she was like, I don't really need to be doing all this now. Like,
I
she's
think
all
she's
squared
going
up.
to use that house as a write-off for whatever she's doing with, what's the name of her business?
Worthy Up.
Worthy Up. Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't remember because I haven't heard her talk about it very often.
It's been a while.
Yeah. She stopped wearing all the Worthy Up sweatshirts on the show, so that's how quick the branding faded.
She had a Worthy Up shirt on last week. What are you talking about?
I just don't see them anymore. It's white noise.
She's doing Worthy Up exercises here, though, because before they paint these walls, they're going to write a bunch of affirmations
with
on
Sharpie.
the wall. With Sharpie, which I'm sure... Are you going to cover this with primer? Are we hitting this with primer first, or just a couple of coats?
Whatever makes you feel good, girl.
I mean, yeah, I would be worried about what that would be doing under the paint. And now I'm also upset that we didn't get to write affirmations on our wall for the studio here before we painted it, because we totally would have made fun of that. What was the good one, though? May the roof above us never fall in, and the people who gather never fall out.
She starts to tear up when she reads it. Does she mean her and Amber? Because this is all she's got left is her roomie.
That's it.
Is this going to be a Golden Girls situation in this house?
Thank you for being a friend.
I mean, I'd be here for watching that.
Yeah, probably. Oh, we were watching Golden Girls, and we decided which wife was...
Who was who?
Yeah,
if we had to
which
cast
wife
them.
was which. Because I think we went... Well, I think we started off...
Meri's Dorothy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry.
I think we started there.
Meri is Sophia.
Meri is Sophia.
Because Sophia will say biting things to people that hurt their feelings.
Yes, because I think we had started with, Meri's B. Arthur. And then we were like, wait, no.
Janelle is B. Arthur.
Janelle is B. Arthur.
Yeah, she's going to be Dorothy because theirs has to be a certain level of sophistication to the humor that I don't think that Meri has.
I don't think she brings that. Yeah. She's just quick to cut with words. And then obviously the easy ones are Christine would very clearly be Blanche because she's a freaky bitch.
Oh, I think we're disagreeing.
And then Robyn is Rose.
Okay.
100%.
I think they may be interchangeable.
You think that Robyn is Blanche Devereaux?
She thinks she's much younger than she is in reality.
But the sexualization.
Okay, she doesn't have that.
She
does
not
lack that.
have that. Not when she's lurching around with that boot.
What boot?
You didn't see her walking around outside the Sphere in Vegas with Kody?
No.
She's got her boot on.
Does she have to have orthopedic surgery?
I don't know. She's got like a weird... I'm making fun of people's disabilities
Is
now.
this like the Meredith Marks boot?
No, different boot. It's like, one of those shoes, like the orthotics.
I'll have to do my research.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
Like a Natalia Grace boot?
We're getting into dangerous territory here. We got to be careful.
We're moving on. You brought it up, not me.
I know. I'm sorry I did.
Okay, Meri just tells Amber what happened at Coyote Pass, which it was weird.
Which guess what? Nothing happened.
Well, can you believe that after all of these years of breaking people down and making them feel bad about themselves, nobody wanted to look me in the eye?
Yeah, everybody was afraid to look you in the eye. It's seen as a sign of aggression in nature, Meri. That's why most mammals are avoiding making eye contact with you.
Also, she can finally date now? Did they pull this from some other point, or is this because now the bank account's full?
Is that what it is?
She's expanding her prospects. Did she get on Raya?
Oh, maybe. Or,
She famous enough for Raya?
I feel like she's more famous than some people who are on Raya.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely. Is she perhaps going to delve into the Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo territory here, where
She's going to start paying for dates.
paying for company.
You do you, girl.
Hey, I'm not knocking it. Yeah, there you go.
All right, Kody and Robyn. Kody gets home
Wait, Christine.
Yeah, I had them at the end. You want to talk about them first?
They're not riveting enough to finish
To
out
end
the
with?
episode. Yeah.
Okay. So Christine takes David to get a facial. At first I thought they were getting massages, and that would have been so much better.
You know,
I thought that
the missed opportunity here.
Come on, girl. Make fun of Kody. We're going to go get massages without the happy ending.
Physical touch is very important to me.
Yeah. And I take my man to get massages from a professional now. I no longer
I don't provide
that job.
Massages. Yeah, I'm outsourcing that to professionals. That's what's going on here. But it's spa day for facials. And this seems to be a trend where Christine keeps tricking David into doing things that he's not necessarily the most comfortable with.
I don't like that.
I don't really enjoy that. I don't know if some of it is just like she's not fully aware herself, because that's what she was saying with like, sometimes we get invited to a party. I don't know how many people are going to attend.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, like there's some where it's like understandable.
Does David have anxiety? Because that's a question I would ask. I need to know how many people are there and what the parking situation is going to be.
Well, who's going? How many people are going to be there?
I didn't like when she said sometimes we'll go to a movie and I'll tell him what we're going to see. And then when we get there, I've bought tickets for something else.
Has that ever happened to you ever?
Me?
Yeah. Has that personally, have you ever been in that situation before?
No.
Me either. Like,
because that's weird.
Is this a common thing? I think the only time it happened was when
you can't actually see the movie that you wanted to see
when
because
I was
couldn't get the tickets.
Under the age of 17 and I was trying to go to an R-rated movie. Like, yeah, you buy the ticket for something else and then you sneak into the other one.
What I don't like about it is it feels like she's trying to get him to agree to do something and then she wants it to be the way that she wants it to be. So then she'll flip the script on him and like, okay, now we're going to go see this romantic comedy instead of whatever I told you we were going to go to.
Bad Boys 2. Yeah.
Paul Blart, Mall Cop.
You don't have to trick me into seeing that.
It's probably David's favorite movie. So I guess the whole point of this entire scene is for them to talk once again about how Christine's bad at monogamy.
Christine needs to do some work on the monogamy side of things here.
She needs to do some work on developing a storyline.
Well, because David gives and gives.
He gives and
gives.
gives in the kitchen, in the bedroom, in the car, in all the places.
Everywhere a wife deserves to be loved.
So she gives back in other ways as well. So he knows how much he's valued.
So that just shows, the amount that he gives, he deserves to be pampered as well.
Kody and Robyn?
Yeah, let's round this thing out here.
I was shocked that Kody pitched the idea of going to therapy.
Not couples therapy, not yet, but just individual therapy for Kody. And Robyn's like, yeah, that's a good idea.
She frowned first, though.
She didn't look like she was on board. I wasn't sure what she was going to say. And then she said, yeah, sure, that sounds like a good idea. I think she was checking to see, we'll see how this goes, because depending on what they tell you, I may or may not be on board with this anymore. So, sure.
Might only go to 1 or 2 sessions.
Sounds like a good idea, but also, if I don't make the appointment for you, it's probably never going to happen.
That's true, just like the COVID test.
Yes.
God, she just can't stop bringing up the other women because she has to blame them again for Kody's relationship with his kids. I think it's bad that Kody and Robyn, they have to go to therapy together because I think a big part of Kody's issue is that Robyn plays into this whole narrative that he's built up into his head.
Well, they're codependent. So, yeah, like that's a big part of this too, is like it's all the ideologies are infused and entwined at this point.
Which I do think it sounds like he's approaching therapy for a good reason, which is that he wants to learn better ways to communicate with his kids.
He is kind of putting it on his kids a little bit again, too, where he's saying he reaches out and then there are kids who don't reciprocate.
Yeah, well, this is a problem that a lot of parents need to learn, which is when you hurt your kids and then they cut off contact with you. You don't get to just decide when that relationship gets reestablished again. They're going to need to be able to feel like they're in a good place and that they're ready to do that. It's not on your timeline.
Because for him to say, oh, I reached out, how are you reaching out? What are you reaching out with? Because then if you've been told in the past, like if you've had conversations with some kids where they're telling you, hey, this doesn't work for me, of the dynamic that we have in place right now, where we just get to move forward like nothing ever happened, and that nothing is addressed, nothing is resolved, and we just get to sweep that under the rug and pretend like we have a normal interaction. That doesn't work for me, and I'm not going to continue doing that. If he's still reaching out in those same ways, that's not helpful. You're not listening to what your kid is telling you they need.
Yeah, something else that frustrates me about him is whenever he does take some ownership of something, he needs to make it clear that somebody else also has responsibility too. And that's not going to help you make progress here. You need to be able to just say to your kids, hey, these are all the things that I regret or I wish that I had done differently, and stop talking there.
He always has to cut it back. Yeah, with, oh,
but
there's
this
a little
person did this.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're justifying your behavior, which is not what somebody wants to hear in an apology.
From my personal experience with parental conversations that go this route, what I usually experience is, hey, here's something that was hurtful or that changed or like whatever wasn't really ideal. And then, oh, that's met with, oh, sorry that happened like that. But here's another reason of why you pushed me to that sort of mentality. And then it's like, okay, well, now you're blaming me for something else. So then it just feels like you're playing whack-a-mole at that point where you're not actually accomplishing anything, because if you bring up something, then there's always something else. The goalposts are always moving and there's no escape from that conversation. You just continually, perpetually have the same argument.
Which is what we've been seeing on this show for how many years now, since COVID.
Is that what we're seeing? Or are we just seeing a Kody-sized hole in all of his kids' hearts?
The way he whipped his head around when she said that.
Because that makes it sound so appealing to him. Because he's like, oh, then I'm like
I'm the
answer.
hole?
I'm the answer to that? I can fix that? That's something that I can handle. A Kody-sized hole. I can do that.
Then he pulled out a quote. I cannot find where this came from. So you guys, if you know, send us a message. Not as many as we got with the red velvet cake, though, please. The knife of the father is never out of the heart of his children.
And we were thinking about this as, oh my gosh, like he's coming to terms with the
Wounding.
hurt. Yeah, like the hurt that he's inflicting on his kids. But then it's like, no. He's talking about his relationship with his father, Win.
He starts crying about Win and how he wished that he had fixed things with him before he died. So this is, again, very annoying. Because while I understand that that's something that has wounded Kody, and he for sure needs therapy to talk about his relationship with his dad.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think a lot of his problems are rooted in the very beginning there.
Very much so. Well, yeah, just like the parent dynamic, parent and children setup, because I think he emulates a lot of that where he's feeling that disconnect. He doesn't understand why his kids resent him so much to where they will cut off contact with him, where he was still so desperate for Win to reach out.
For affection from him.
He would have done anything to get just a glimmer of attention from Win at any point. Like he was okay with that. He longed for that so much that he was willing to put up with any of the other mistreatment that would go along with it.
Yeah, and it's hard to know, is he feeling emotional about this because he's thinking about, the day that he might pass away and that his kids hadn't righted their relationships with him, but that's all about how he feels about it again.
Well, not to be outdone, but then Robyn steps in.
Yeah, it's not actually about Kody. So if you thought that it was, you're wrong. It's about Robyn.
Robyn steps in and she's like, well, it reminds me of my relationship with my biological dad at the end of the day.
I couldn't take this seriously because then she talks about how hurtful it was that she didn't have a relationship with her biological dad. And then she rejected him, which is similar to how Kody's kids have rejected him now. And she fails to ever think about or mention how she has seemingly actively not encouraged her kids to have a relationship with their biological father, with Preston.
Oh, that's a really interesting part that she was very silent on for this entire conversation, because it's like, funny you should mention that, Robyn, because remember when you had your kid's bio dad relinquish his parental rights so that they could be adopted by Kody, and you sprung that on them on camera, and they were trying to figure out what the hell that meant?
Yeah, and like that day they just stopped calling him dad and started calling him Preston.
Yeah, like maybe we can dig into that a little bit more too, because you don't really seem like you have like an expert level credibility here in terms of familial relationships and biological fathers.
These two need to get past this narrative that Kody's children have rejected him. It's not about Kody. And also, his kids had repeatedly expressed to him that they felt rejected and abandoned by him before he ever picked up this narrative.
Here's the thing, too. Pointing out mistreatment is not rejection. So if you are...
And setting a boundary.
Being called out and saying, hey, I don't like being treated and mistreated in these ways. And then if you continue to do that, we cannot have a relationship. And then nothing changes. Everything continues the same way that it has. And then you follow through with that. Whose fault is that? I think you've made it abundantly clear that you're not interested in having a human interaction with me. So yeah, why would I continue to subject myself to that?
It's going to be really hard for him to make any progress here if he's not able to take accountability for what he's done and stop feeling like he needs to throw other people under the bus along with himself.
Well, because then that's what he's saying too. Oh, I think maybe my problem is it's hard to have these relationships with these adult children when I keep saying mean stuff about their moms. Okay, well, that's not helping
and
either.
He said mean stuff about them too.
Yes, the rumor mill and all the horrible things that are circulating that are probably true and based in fact.
Yeah, I think he's just going to remain in his little bubble with Robyn and her kids, because that house has been raised to emotionally regulate the adults inside of it.
What I thought about when we were watching the Vile Files Special Forces reunion was, because he was kind of defending that too, where, oh, I invest my attention with my kids in places where I see a return on that investment. So he's basically talking about he provides all of that support and emotional availability to Robyn's kids because they play into that and they're able to stroke his ego and
they receive
keep that
and reciprocate
going.
it.
Yeah. So then I thought, oh my gosh, what happens at that point? Like, Aurora's dating now. What happens when she becomes an autonomous human being, gets married, and moves out of the house? And now you have to maintain a relationship with her. Once they start getting old enough to actually move out, which is against Robyn's wishes, obviously, and she's fighting tooth and nail to prevent that from happening at every turn. But there will come a day where that is a very real possibility, where then Kody's going to look around and then nobody's left in the house.
I think the difference there is that Robyn will do everything possible to continue to facilitate those relationships, whereas Christine and Meri and Janelle don't feel like that's their responsibility.
Yeah, I guess it's tough. We don't have a lot to go off of, because then that's what he was saying.
No one really moves out, so...
Well, nobody really moves out. Dayton kind of did, right?
Well, we just don't know.
We don't know.
They don't talk about Dayton
Yeah, there's
anymore.
no information. I mean, Kody kept mentioning him as he's the oldest son that he kept referring to, who comes over and watches Special Forces with him, which that was weird to refer to Dayton as your oldest son when you have Logan.
Well, you know, many other older children.
Just saying. Yeah, I mean, like several older sons than Dayton, but okay.
The oldest son that still talks to me.
The oldest son that's, recognizes my existence.
The only thing that I did agree with Robyn about in this episode is at the end when she said maybe they can fix things now that they've hashed out stuff with Coyote Pass. I think that it will make things less complicated to have that involved, you know, because when that's part of the puzzle, one of the issues is that Kody and Robyn, who are emotionally immature, I do feel like use that as leverage over other people. So I am glad that that's gone now and that that's not something that can be used as a manipulative tool.
What's annoying is that Kody's still seeing this as the path back to his kids is through their moms, and that has nothing to do with those relationships. So I think he's in for a rude awakening where if he does this tour of apologies, which he's starting with Janelle next week based on the preview, and then we saw from the season overview sneak peek clips that we've been able to see, it's apologies for Meri and Christine as well that are on the way. But once you go through all of that, and then you still have these failed relationships with the kids, then whose fault is it? What's the next excuse? Because then if you're at a cordial speaking term with the moms now, that's not the problem. That's not the issue anymore.
That's a good first step.
They're going to keep telling you, that's not my responsibility. Like, is he still going to blame them for, oh, you're not convincing them to talk to me?
Yes. He's never been able to see or differentiate between the relationships he has with the mothers of the children and with the children individually. So I guess we'll see that start next week. That's Extending an Olive Branch is the next episode. Janelle celebrates the sale of Coyote Pass by partying with friends in New Orleans. Meri ventures out of her comfort zone and attends a dating event in Las Vegas. Kody owns up to his bad behaviors and decides to apologize to each of his ex-wives.
He has decided to make amends now.
We'll see. I don't have high expectations for whatever comes out of his mouth.
No, I don't think that's going to go well.
We got the mid-season trailer for Sister Wives.
And it is the apology tour, but like the patronizing apology tour? Kind of.
Okay, I think it's comical how large of a table Christine and David were sitting at with him. Like, it's like a conference table.
The wide shot.
It's as far away as they possibly could. Like, they were like, can we stack 4 tables? And then we'll have Kody sit on the other side.
Line them up.
Yeah, they're not, it doesn't seem like anybody's really that receptive to the apology. Maybe Janelle.
Well, then when they're cutting to the tell-all footage, too, where Kody's then walking back the apologies.
Of course he is.
Oh, I regret apologizing for these things. Then why did you even do that? It wasn't authentic to begin with. And then you're telling people that you regret apologizing for it? That's just a dick move on top of a dick move.
The one to Meri looks really bad because Meri's trying to get him to actually verbalize what it is he's apologizing for, which is what I'm expecting is going to be the thing he has a hard time doing.
I apologize that this apology is not apologizing the way that you are expecting an apology to apologize.
No, because he just wanted to say, I apologize and have that be it and have them forgive him.
Well, that's what he did to Janelle, and she's ready to stand up and clap for him. Wow, I'm really impressed. No, make him work for this. What? What are you apologizing for? Explain it.
A pretty long list of things that I've been waiting to hear.
Show your work. Yes.
The tell-all looks good. Jen is there with Meri. We've been waiting for that.
So it's multiple people on a couch, but it's not the multiple people that we were hoping for.
Okay, maybe they're saving it. I have hope that we'll get there, that we'll get them all on the couch together.
You're really holding out for that. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think so. I would like just the OG3 to get together, maybe. Like, that would be enough for me.
Okay, that would be nice, but I'm guessing now that Meri's going to find out that Janelle was working behind her back to try to cut her out of Coyote Pass, which I feel so vindicated about being correct about.
Right.
Because we saw this after we recorded the episode.
Yes.
She's not going to be happy about that. It's going to walk back all the progress that they've made in their relationship.
But then also it feels like this is a ploy. This is something that Kody is just drumming up to divide them again.
Yeah.
It feels like he's playing it up.
Well, why do you have to even bring up what happened with Janelle? Shouldn't we just say the Coyote Pass stuff is done and move on? But you're the rumor mill now who needs to be telling everybody what was happening.
Right.
Because why are you going to tell Meri? Is it for her benefit?
I don't think so. It's to her detriment, more so.
The only thing I'll give it to Kody for...
You're going to give it to Kody?
The only thing I will say impressed me about his apology is that Robyn was not there with him.
What's funny is when he then ends up apologizing to Robyn, too. I feel like I owe you an apology, too, because I'm apologizing to everyone. And you, most of all, deserve an apology.
Okay.
So that's what we have to look forward to. We'll be here to recap every moment of it and then some.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.